Dear audience, Assalamu alaikum. A gracious welcome to you all on the second round of the very first Inter-School English Debate Competition organized by Bangladesh Television Chattogram Center. Debate means to fight by raising your words, not your voice. In today's context, debate implies to a discussion between two parties with opposing views on the same topic who are both trying to come to a conclusion. Dear viewers, the importance of debate in education can be understood when you notice how much debaters have to collaborate with one another in order to ensure a debate goes well smooth. When a student participates in debate, they have to be socially and politically aware of their current affairs, which ensures that they become better communicators. And at the end of the day, we want the youths of our country to be able to communicate well with one another and build a very strong community connected by the strength of our knowledge. Dear audience, on that very good note, I, your host, Prapanti Chakrabarti, would love to invite you all to come along and enjoy our very lively debate competition participated by two competed teams. Today, the selected motion of the debate competition is solving refugee problem should be the main goal of current diplomacy. The team for the motion belongs to Chattogram Cantonment Public College. The team against the motion belongs to Bandarban Cantonment Public School and College. Speakers for the motion are Mohammad Safwan bin Hussein Chaudhry, Fairuz Tafannum Nusaiba, Abrar Shohid. Speakers against the motion are Moriam Fariha Esha, Oshurja Chakrabarti Purna, A. Singh Marma. The honorable adjudicators of today's session are Hossain Shahadat, Senior Reporter, News 24, Abdullah Muhammad Shukrana, President, Bangladesh Debate Federation, Afzalur Rahman, Assistant Professor, Department of International Relation, University of Chittagong. The topics on which our honorable judges are going to assign marks in the constructive round are Presentation 5, Language and Pronunciation 10, Presentation of Theory and Information 15, Argumentation and Rebuttal 10. The topics on which our honorable judges are going to assign marks in the rebuttal round are Presentation 5, Language and Pronunciation 5, Argumentation and Rebuttal 20. Dear viewers, now we would love to introduce our honorable moderator of today's program who will be conducting the entire competition and announce the results at the end. The honorable moderator of today's competition is Dr. Bithut Borua, Deputy Director, Chittagong Medical University. Now, I would most humbly like to request you, sir, to come up on the stage and take your seat. Before we start the debate, I would love to inform you about the order and time allocation of each debater. Each debater will get 5 minutes to present his or her speech. An alarming bell will ring on the 4th minute, and the final bell will ring on the 5th minute. In the rebuttal round, both the team leaders will get 2 minutes each. Alarming bell will ring on 1.5 minutes, and the final bell will ring on the 2nd minute. Dear viewers, from now onwards, you can not only watch us on your television set, but also on Facebook and YouTube. Tune in on facebook.com/btvchattogram and www.youtube.com/@btvchattogram. Now, I most humbly would like to request our honorable moderator to preside over the competition and start the debate.
Thank you very much for this opportunity as a moderator. Let me welcome everybody in the debate competitions. Today debates of the topic already everyone heard and everyone known the participant and educators. So it's my turn to request the speaker for the motion. We know everyone for the motions the team Chattogram Cantonment Public College, and against the motions Bandarban Cantonment Public School and College. Now I request Mr. Safwan bin Hossain Chaudhry for the motion. The first speaker.
I stand here not to debate, but as the voice of million mothers who can feed their children. Stand here to amplify the echoes of cries of the children who are suffering. I stand here to bring justice to them. Thank you, Honorable Moderator, for giving me the floor to speak. The motion says, solving refugee problem should be the main goal of current diplomacy. So what's the present context of today's debate? We live in a world where 35 million people are forced to flee from their homes, forced to flee from their countries, forced to abandon all they have because of war, persecution, or violence. This huge number of refugees is even larger than the population of countries like Canada, Saudi Arabia, and we can really feel the adversity this huge number has on the whole world. On the monitor, know that every year the number of refugees are increasing, but there are fewer places to take them in. This problem is testing collective humanity. How is it justified just to close our doors, just to close our borders to them who seek refuge? How can we really ignore the sufferings of those refugees? My question remains to the opposition. Now, what's the urgency of solving the refugee problem? Number one, this needs to be done as soon as possible, because negligence might lead to their death because of lack of food, because of lack of water, because of lack of services on the monitor. Second of all, there are 1.9 million children who were born as refugees. Know one thing, that this has been repeating generations after generations, and the number of refugees are increasing. This in turn creates a burden which is much more heavier in the longer run to the whole world on the monitor. Now, there are two key terms of today's debate. One, refugee. Two, diplomacy. According to the 1951 Refugee Convention of UN, a refugee is an individual who has left their country due to fear of mistreatment or violence on the monitor. What's diplomacy? Diplomacy is the practice of managing international relations and negotiations between countries and entities on peace means in order to achieve common goals. Now, we can see that 6.3 million from Syria, 2.6 million from Afghanistan, 2.4 million from South Sudan are refugees, and there 76% of refugees are hosted by lower and middle income countries, where we can see those developed countries not caring much about those refugees on the monitor. Now, talking about solving refugee problem, there are two layers on this basis. We believe that number one, we will ensure better rehabilitation and protect them while they're in the host countries. Number two, we will solve the problem of the origin countries, that might be political, that might be social, for resettlement through collective endeavor. Now, there are three parameters on which we will be debating. Number one, violation of human rights. Number two, sole burden on host countries. And number three, threat to global security and radicalization. I, as the first speaker, will explain the first point, my second speaker will explain the third point, and my third speaker will explain the third point and sum up the whole debate with a solution. Now, talking about the first argument, violation of human rights, we know that respect for human rights, compassion, and justice are pillars of the world in common ground. We have a commitment towards these ideals, and violation of human rights means those people are being denied and to live freely and have dignity and honor simply because what they really are on the monitor. They're the victims, they're innocents on the monitor. We can see that 77% of refugees living in host countries are vulnerable to food security. We can see situations where 11% children suffer from acute malnutrition, 30% suffer from chronic malnutrition in Rohingya, and we can see such cases where only 55% refugees in the whole world have access to proper shelter, and there are other cases where only 24.6% Rohingya were funded to provide basic health services, nutrition, food, and education. We can really feel how they're really neglected in the whole world. We can really feel how we are not providing them with basic rights. We can see the media is talking about human rights. There are certain campaigns, there are certain measures we are taking, but on that particular basis, we believe that these huge number, 35 million people, are negligent in this whole world, and we have to give them the right they really deserve on the monitor. When we talk about refugees, we consider them as just numbers, just statistics, but behind every single number, there's a story of hope, there is a story of suffering, and we believe behind these things, they all are human beings like all of us on the monitor. So thus, this is our humanitarian responsibility to give our eye to those particular people, to help them with certain aids, to run campaigns in those particular camps, and establish better living for them on the monitor. When this is the principle of repercussion, because when we have taken the rights from them, this is a burden for us to provide them the rights they have lost on the monitor. We have the burden to give the living they really deserve, because half of the children who are very innocent are suffering on the monitor. We have the right to give the people the life they have dreamed of, to so that they can have the hope, so that they can live the life they have always dreamed of, Alma Moderator. We can give aid, we can give support through world diplomacy, and we believe this current diplomacy should be the current diplomacy should have the goal of solving refugee problem, because this problem is getting deadly day by day and day by day. We can see deaths of millions, we can see deaths of thousands of children who are really crying for malnutrition, for food, Alma Moderator. We believe that we should set this as the prime goal, and we believe that everyone will agree with that. Thank you, Alma Moderator. Thank you, everyone.
Now I request to Bandarban Cantonment Public School and College against the motion. First speaker, Mariam Fareha Esha.
Assalamu alaikum, honorable moderator and jury member. Take my cordial respect. Thanks for giving me this floor. Our today's motion is solving the refugee problem should be the main goal of current diplomacy. We are standing against the motion because of the word main goal. Solving the refugee problem should be one of the goal of current diplomacy, not main. Dear opponent, if you want to win this debate, you have to make a clear presentation to us why only the refugee problem needs to be solved for us as a main goal for current diplomacy, and why it should not be. Me and my team will explain through our speech. The points we are going to explain, those are referred as trade system. As we all know, by positive trade relation, we can improve our diplomacy relation with other country, and we can also improve our export. As the motion didn't mention any country, so we are all doing it globally. To make this motion cut and clear, I'm taking a country as an example, and it's Bangladesh. In Bangladesh, as an agricultural country, jute was called golden fiber. Once a large part of the country economy used to come from the export of jute and jute-made products. The Export Development Bureau (EPB) data analysis shows that there has been a negative growth of 19% in the export earnings 2022-2023. In the financial year, the export earning was $91 million. In the previous financial year, 2021-2022, the income was $112 million. Honorable Moderator, jute and jute-made products used to be at the top 3 in the earning sources, but now it's not even at the top 10. At present, jute and jute-made products contribute only 2% to our total GDP. So, dear opponent, if you only focus on refugee problem, then when should you focus on this problem? Now, Honorable Moderator, what can we do to solve this problem? First, the government should establish a strict accountability system. The government should give a good look why jute is losing its glory, and should speak with the related businessmen from this industry. Now, Honorable Moderator, how to increase the foreign export of the jute? By a good diplomacy relation with other countries like India, China, Nepal and Netherlands, we can increase our jute exports because these countries hold the highest import of jute. By positive trade relation, we can improve our diplomacy relation with them. Our export earnings will increase. Honorable Moderator, garments industry is in the top of our earning sources. Our garments products are exported globally. It contributes 10% to our total GDP, but Honorable Moderator, the garments workers are not well paid. An average garments worker earns 350 taka per day, which means in a month they get less than 12,000 taka. On the other hand, country like Indonesia gives up to 25,000 taka. The garments industries are not giving them their desired honorarium. They work day to night. Because of them, our garments industries are standing second in the world ranking. Garments industry don't give them their desired honorarium, they will lose their interest on work. As a solution, we can increase our export, we can earn more and give them their desired honorarium. As I have said that by a good diplomacy relation with other country, we can increase our export. Now, Mortal, let's move to other point. Bangladesh is a riverine country, so most of the areas have fish contribution. Bangladesh fisheries industry contributes 3.57% to the total GDP. As a riverine country, we should be at the top 3 in the fish production. Here we are not even at the top 10. Once shrimp was called the white gold. Bangladesh earned about $348 million by exporting shrimp in the financial year 2021-2022, which means about which was about 365 million in the financial year 2020 to 2021. Honorable Moderator, as I have said that by positive trade relation we can improve our diplomacy. So we need to increase the trade relation with the countries that import most of the shrimp like USA, China, Japan, Europe, etc. Then the government needs to focus on the production, and for good quality shrimp we need to good quality. Thank you, Honorable Moderator. Thank you.
Now I request for the motions, second speaker, Fairuz Tahannum Nusaiba.
In a world that is increasingly interconnected, we cannot turn a blind eye to such a crisis that compels mothers to flee with their children, that forces families to leave behind everything they have ever known, and that leaves the hope and dreams of millions scattered. Thank you, Honorable Speaker, for giving me a chance to speak up in today's argument. Today, the motion we're going to argue with is that solving the refugee problem should be the main goal of the current diplomacy. First of all, going to the rebuts of what my opponents did. First of all, they say that they are going to earn economic solvency through the main situation of the diplomacy right now. First of all, what's the point of earning economic solvency if you have people out there that are dying and that don't have shelter over their head right now? Now going to my speech today, standing in a country where 22 million people are out there suffering as refugees, and out of these 22 million people, 56.7% are women and children who are getting violated every day. How can you wouldn't it be morally unjustified to state that the solving the refugee problem of the world shouldn't be the main goal of the current diplomacy? Now, to be exact, Honorable Moderator, focus on how 35.3 million people are struggling today as refugees, even though they are completely innocent, even though they did nothing wrong, they're still suffering every single day. Not only them, the countries that are serving them, the countries that are hosting these refugees are also suffering economically, socially, and environmentally. Look at how the countries like Bangladesh, who are burdened with over 1.1 million people of hosting Rohingyas, are suffering every day financially because of how much they have to provide them. Now, if we look into it, 76% of the state that are provided to host these refugees are not financially stable themselves. So what are we seeing? That the countries that are hosting these refugees does not have economical stability. So the countries that are serving them are getting various obstacle to tackle while providing them with proper food and proper necessities that they need. Now, in the developing countries like Bangladesh, where it is not financially stable, when we are provided with 1.1 million people to serve, it faces a lot of hazard. The immediate result of Bangladesh hosting about 1 million people on its soil is that the price of everything has risen up about 50%. Wages of daily laborers has decreased. 2,500 households has fell below the poverty line. It is also seen that in the following year 2017 to 18, about 75,000 people have become more vulnerable in poverty. Not only that, Honorable Moderator, government revenue in Bangladesh in 2017 was $28.64 billion of that year's current daily exchange rate. But to provide support to the refugee, it would require $1 billion a year, which is equal to the 3.5% of the government revenue. Not only countries like Bangladesh, but there are also countries like Lebanon who have one refugee in 4 of the citizens. Lebanon is a developing country hosting the largest number of refugees per capita worldwide, now facing the worst economical crisis in the modern history. The prices of their goods has skyrocketed, and their currency has lost its power to 95%, now making families unable to afford the simplest ingredients like rice and potato. Not only that, Honorable Moderator, the places that the refugees are coming into in Bangladesh, we have seen that they have occupied spaces like the coastal region like Cox's Bazar. In there, they have occupied 5,000 acres of wild forest, which is over $555 million, and it also has hampered the 45% benefit we used to get from those wild forests. Now, also an additional of 76 acre land has also been occupied by the refugees, and 100 hectares of cropland has been damaged. Not only Bangladesh, but there are countries like Iraq, Jordan, Egypt, who are suffering rapidly for being the host countries of these of these refugees. Now, honorable moderator, look at how today this problem can only be solved through diplomacy, because countries like Bangladesh has already rejected the idea of 1951 convention and the protocol that has been served, that includes sending back the refugee in a non-foulment act, which won't guarantee the security, the safety of these innocent lives. So what are we going to do is we are going to create a better diplomacy with the people out there and send them back using the ways like resettlement, working together with the different countries, and providing a better responsibility to the countries that are actually capable of taking those refugees and providing with them with proper assessment that they need. Now, standing in a country where every 6 months there are 1,000 people out there dying because they are a refugee, how can you say that we need economic solvency rather than to save these innocents' life who have nothing to do with the conflicts that has been going on? Thank you, honorable speaker. Thank you, everyone.
Now, I am requesting the second speaker against the motion, Ashurya Chakrabarti Porna.
Thank you, honorable moderator, for permitting me the floor to speak today. Standing on the opposition side of the motion, solving the refugee problem should be the main goal of current diplomacy. First, I would like to rebut the logic of our opponent team's first speaker. He has said we have to give refugees their proper rights. We admit this. But today we are debating on the term main goal. I think our opponent did not understand that point. We are saying that the refugee problem is one of the goals, but not the main. Now, honorable moderator, come to our point. As our first speaker has already said, coming from the point, look at the field of our geopolitics. Our father of nation, Bangabandhu, has said, friendship for all, malice to none. Honorable moderator, if you want to make your country's economic condition better, you must follow this geopolitics. Effective geopolitical relationships help a country, firstly, by helping the country in any crisis, secondly, by solving any of the problems of the country, and finally, by making a position for the country in international forum. Now, honorable moderator, question is that why it should be one of the goals of our current diplomacy and why it is more important than solving refugee problem. Honorable moderator, look at our Rohingya refugee problem, where 7 lakh to 10 lakh Rohingyas have taken a shelter in our country, Bangladesh. But honorable moderator, if we look at the year 2017 and 2021, many proposals on Bangladesh Rohingya issue have brought in United Nations, but none has been approved due to the effective geopolitical relationship of Myanmar with influential countries. According to the American Harvard International Review, it has been published that Myanmar has good geopolitical relationship with China and Russia, that China has been contributing 6% of its GDP, as well as has invested $380 crore according to the international organization Reuters. And Russia has been supplying powerful weapons in Myanmar in spite of having restriction from UN. Moreover, the most important country of ASEAN means Singapore has invested 1/4 of the total foreign investment in Myanmar, and the European Union is the 4th trade partner of Myanmar. Honorable moderator, due to this effective geopolitical relationship of Myanmar with influential countries, Myanmar can overcome all the pressures given by the UN. Now, honorable moderator, if we can maintain such an effective geopolitical relationship with influential countries, we will be helped by those countries in solving our problems, including refugee problem. In this regard, the more fruitful way is trade with those countries. Honorable moderator, now look at our current trading system and its lackings, where we are exporting our products on zero tax in European market and in UK. But honorable moderator, problems will arise there when we will lose 22% of our income from exportation due to adding tax on our products after 6 years. According to the World Bank, we will get the opportunity of exporting products on no tax until we will promote to a developing country in 2026, and adding 3 years with this year, we will get highest 6 years for imposing tax on our products. Now, honorable moderator, look where problems will create. Firstly, when we will add tax on our products will be 10% costlier than other countries. As a result, we will lose 22% of our income from this exportation. Secondly, our competitor country, Vietnam, will take the position of our country as the 3rd exporter country on garment industry, has already signed on free trade agreement with 40 countries, including EU and UK. Now, honorable moderator, look at the trait of our mercantile relationship with influential countries.
America is the main exporting destination to Bangladesh. Now, look at the statistic by Export Promotion Bureau in the fiscal year 2021 to 2022. The total income from this industry was 42.613 billion, where we earned only 3.82 billion from America, making a fall of 23.55%. Honorable Moderator, this collapse can create a chance to Vietnam to have a good trade with America. As a result, we will lag behind in trading and also in our diplomacy. Ultimately, our refugee problem will not be solved. Rather, a new problem will come to us. But, Honorable Moderator, if we can maintain a good trade with influential country, our geopolitical relation will automatically be developed. And at the end of the day, we will be helped by those influential countries in solving our problem, including Rohingya refugee problem. So, opponent team members, we're developing our current trade system can be able to make a strong diplomacy in the world and can solve the refugee problem. Why are you arguing that only solving the refugee problem should be the main goal of current diplomacy? Thank you, Honorable Moderator. Thank you all.
Now the time for team leader for the motion. Abra Shoid, I'm requested to deliver your speech.
Standing in a world where a whooping 35.3 million people are leading a miserable life due to and termed as refugees due to geopolitical dynamics and diplomatical failure, we believe it is principally justified to say solving refugee problem should be the main goal of current diplomacy. Just think how 2% of world population don't even have an identity. Yeah, Honorable Moderator, we believe it is an alarming issue. Thank you, Honorable Moderator and judges to give me the floor. Honorable Moderator, coming to the rebuttals of the opposition team. Honorable Moderator, if we can prove that diplomacy has no relation to trade system and how refugee crisis manipulates the trade system, we win this whole debate. Honorable Speaker, I have two questions to the opposition team. First question, my question is, how do you become even the top class or even the first in RMG export without even having good diplomacy even to solve Rohingya issue? Why didn't USA put any emphasis or pressure to Myanmar even if you have a decent trade system with them? So we believe that trade system hasn't any particular relation with diplomacy, and that's it, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I have a second question to them. If your diplomacy is also enough to make your RMG product to first in class, why your cosmetics industry is lagging behind to export any product? We believe that here diplomacy is not the issue. We believe here the product quality is the issue. Honorable Speaker, thus we prove that that trade system has no particular relation with diplomacy. Honorable Speaker, we also saw that countries like USA and different countries where Bangladesh export different products didn't even emphasize on the Rohingya issue either. They didn't give any pressure to the Myanmar also. We saw that countries like Gambia stands with us in the International Court of Justice, not the United States. If those powerful and diplomatic countries stand with us at that particular moment, this Rohingya crisis should be solved, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, coming back to our arguments, Honorable Speaker, Honorable Moderator. Honorable Moderator, we believe from dated back to World War I and even in the present Ukrainian crisis or Rohingya issue, these refugees act as a major threat to global security, and which brings to our third argument. Our third argument is global security threats and radicalization. Radicalization is basically how a group or individual adopts extreme beliefs and ideologies. How radicalization actually grows on refugees. We believe refugees are one of the most vulnerable group of people in this world. They have some few characteristics. Number one, they can get easily manipulated. Number two, they are economically deprived. And number three, they are continuous fear of persecution or ill treatment. So what a terrorist group does, a terrorist group basically brainwashes them and persuades them with money. They join, as a result, the refugees join those groups for their vulnerable condition, Honorable Speaker. Thus, they get more prone to be exploited by those terrorists, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Moderator, the statistic says 1,300 refugees from Rohingya camps joined ARSA, Arakan Rohingya Salvation Army, a notorious terrorist group. Honorable Speaker, according to Amnesty International, this ARSA single-handedly massacred 2 villages of Rakhine and killed 99 people alone. Honorable Moderator, in 10th July 2023, the Armed Police Battalion had a gunfight with 30 to 40 member terrorist group from ARSA, where 4 of them were killed in Camp 17 of Kutupalong, source Prothmalo. And according to UNHCR, 85% of those refugees are in economic crisis, which makes them more prone to terrorist groups to exploit them and to persuade those particular refugees. We saw 2015 Paris attack, we saw 2016 Berlin Christmas market attack, and we saw 2017 Manchester Arena attack, which was led by terrorists and who were refugees at the past and who were brainwashed by the masterminds of different terrorist group, Honorable Moderator. Honorable Moderator, we believe that we also saw in 1948, after the World War II, how Israelis overthrew the Palestine by became refugee, Honorable Moderator. We believe such such type of radicalization can come up and such type of global security issues can come up. Now, what are the impacts of such radicalization? We believe, first of all, it will create destabilization of local regions. Secondly, we believe it will create multiple massacres in host countries. And thirdly, we believe it will become a threat to global and local security. Honorable Speaker, how diplomacy is going to solve Rohingya issue, Honorable Speaker? With approximately 1 million Rohingya in Kutupalong camp having a major economical and environmental impact, it is required to solve it right now. And we propose 4 criteria to solve it. First of all, restitution or resettlement, like giving back their property or rights they lost through international unity or international pressure. Secondly, we propose compensation, which is making up the harm they suffered by providing them education to stand up or business opportunities to shine again. And thirdly, rehabilitation, by giving them medical support or treatment or rehab to make the refugees get rid of the trauma they suffered. And fourthly, justification, which is to ensure proper justice to the refugees. Now, Honorable Speaker, the main reason of such existence of Rohingya issue is basically diplomatical failure, Honorable Moderator. Only few countries like Gambia and OIC countries put pressure on Myanmar at International Court of Justice. Here, the trade system doesn't come any play or whatsoever, Honorable Moderator. Honorable Moderator, if a country with strong diplomatical power pressurizes Myanmar, it can get easily accelerated, Honorable Moderator. And thus, we believe that solving Rohingya issue should be the main goal of current diplomacy and not the trade system. Thank you, Honorable Moderator. Thank you all.
Now the time for the team leader of against the motion, as Singh Marma. I am request to deliver your speech now.
Thank you, Honorable Moderator, for giving me the floor to speak about today's motion, which is solving the refugee problem should be the main goal of current diplomacy. For some vital grounds, me and my team are standing against the motion. Honorable Moderator, I would like to start my debate with what their speaker said. He has said that trade system has no relationship with diplomacy. But, Honorable Moderator, they are not thinking how our diplomacy will be stronger. The only way to develop it is the geopolitics, which has our second speaker has said, and she has explained how these things are related. But today, the only thing they are wanting to win the only thing they want to win the debate by roaring. Honorable Moderator, now let's come to the main speech. Honorable Moderator, when we want to make business with other foreign countries, we have to pay tax. And now let's look at the current tax ratio of our own country. Honorable Moderator, in case of importing vehicles, complete built units, CVU, these vehicles are taxed 221% to 628% for almost 1800 to 4000 cc. Then, Honorable Moderator, completely knocked down CKD, these vehicles are taxed 212% to 1200% for almost 1800 to 3000 cc. Honorable Moderator, after this, now let's move to the another main income source of country. In case of importing raw materials and machineries for garments manufacturing and other necessary products which are used in many different sectors in business industries such as chemicals, drugs, we have to pay about 5 to 25% of according to the products. And because of this, we can't buy our own product in cheap price. Honorable Moderator, we have to say that we are middle-earned country. So it is not comfort for every citizen to pay those kind of tax. Honorable Moderator, in normal sectors like restaurants or shopping malls, 5% tax is not that much big enough. So it has become as usual for everyone. But Honorable Moderator, in case of international business, 5% feels like 50%. Honorable Moderator, as an example, America gave Bangladesh GSP facilities on 1976. As a least developed country, Bangladesh got GSP on 97% of GSP facilities. Honorable Moderator, now what is GSP? GSP is Generalized System of Preferences is a formal system where a wide range of industrial and agricultural products originating in certain developing countries gets preferential access to the markets of developed country. Even though when they got GSP facilities, but the main exporting product of Bangladesh, ready-made garments, was not included there. And after all these years, in 2013, the GSP facility of Bangladesh got declined due to the Rana Plaza tragedy. Now, for that reason, Honorable Moderator, if Bangladesh wants to grow business with other countries, now she has to pay a high margin of tax for business. Honorable Moderator, for this kind of tax, Bangladesh can't grow business relation with other countries, and for that reason, Bangladesh diplomatic relationship will not grow as we want. Another sector, Honorable Moderator, there are 5 parts to the economic diplomacy bundle for a country, and one of them is more foreign investment. Bangladesh is doing her foreign investment by exporting her manpower. Honorable Moderator, manpower export is the second largest contributor to the GDP of Bangladesh. And from a last study of dailyasian.com, more than 14 lakh immigrants migrated about in 173 countries, foreign countries. Honorable Moderator, maybe we can imagine how big number of immigrants migrated there. When the people of our country go to another country for working, usually they are not so well trained or skilled. That's why they don't get a good job at a good job sector in a foreign country. If they're well trained from our own country, they will get a better job place, and when they will get a better job place, their job will be more effective than before, and our economy will get more effective results than before. When we send our skilled citizens to our foreign countries, the countries will be benefited and our diplomacy with them will grow. So, opponent team, how you are ignoring this problem and giving priority to the refugee problem as main, please explain it to us, where our second speaker has already explained how we can solve the refugee problem by growing diplomatic relations through solving the problems that we showed. Honorable Moderator, so for increasing international trade relationship and to make diplomacy more stronger, we should look over to the tax and need to make more comfortable for all. Hope that we can make our business with another countries and our diplomacy will be stronger. Thank you, Honorable Moderator. Thank you, everyone.
This time for the time, leader of the motion, Avrar Shohit. I request to deliver his last 1 minute.
Thank you, Honorable Moderator, for giving me the floor again. Honorable Moderator, talking about the basic misconception the opposition or against the motion bench has been creating in this debate, Honorable Moderator. Honorable Moderator, today they are repeatedly talking about how will they make our diplomacy stronger, where the topic goes for what should be the main goal of diplomacy, not how will you make the diplomacy stronger, Honorable Moderator. Honorable Moderator, we believe they are having a major misconception right here, because they are already, they didn't establish any strong mechanism that supports that what they are actually proving in this debate. They are actually proving that how trade system is gonna accelerate diplomacy, and we did not have any actually one of the strong mechanism. Also, we asked them 2 of the major questions with examples which were actually not answered by them, Honorable Moderator. Honorable Moderator, coming to the rebuttal. Honorable Moderator, look, now I will going to prove how basically the refugee crisis is going to manipulate the trade system. Honorable Moderator, look, the Ukrainian refugees, the country Ukraine normally had a major or stronger diplomacy than a country like Bangladesh. So what we saw powerful countries like America, powerful countries like India actually having some of the bans on Russia. They actually banned they actually banned on some of the particular product on Russia. We saw Russia having multiple economic crises. We saw Russia having multiple economic downfall. For what is the reason? It is the reason that the main or the powerful diplomatic countries actually put pressure on that particular country, or the country where the refugees, or who put pressure on the refugees, Honorable Moderator. Honorable Moderator, we believe here the refugee crisis should be the main goal, because if you solve a particular refugee problem, what you can do, you can actually put out an economical pressure on the host country. The money which is left over can actually be spent on proper resource allocation, not on the refugee, Honorable Moderator. Honorable Moderator, there are approximately 1.1 million refugees in Bangladesh right now. So it puts actually a major economical impact. Now think of it, what if we could prioritize the refugee crisis right now? If we could solve that particular thing, we can have the rest amount of money which is spent on the refugee onto the population of Bangladesh, which can have a major impact on proper resource allocation. And thus, we believe solving refugee crisis should be the main goal of current diplomacy, not the proper trade system. Thank you, Honorable Moderator. Thank you all.
Now the time for the team leader of the against the motion, Singh Marma. I am requested to deliver your last 1 minute.
Thank you, Honorable Moderator, for giving me another chance. Honorable Moderator, today our opponents are describing the sufferings of refugees, but they don't know where our debate is today. Today we are saying that by making stronger our diplomacy, we will stand on the spotlight of the world. Then actually our our problems will automatically be solved. Thank you, Honorable Moderator, for letting me the rebuttal. Honorable Moderator, from the beginning, we are saying that refugee problem is one of the problem, and we cleared many times why refugee problem shouldn't be the main problem for current diplomacy. Honorable Moderator, my first and second speaker said how effective trade relationship and other sectors like geopolitics can make good diplomacy. Honorable Moderator, current diplomacy can build with foreign countries by doing comfortable, positive business with them, because in this era, the countries which are strong in trade can make a strong stand in this world. But, Honorable Moderator, our opponent is saying that let other problems go and only we should focus on refugee problem. But if for a moment we completely focus on refugee problem, then other sectors of problem we showed will not solve perfectly. So what will be the result? Refugee problem is solving and other sectors of problem we showed will be lagging behind, and for this current strong status of our country will be weak. Then later we have to arrange another debate called not solving the refugee problem but solving the other problems should be main goal of current diplomacy. Honorable Moderator, we showed why refugee problem shouldn't be the main goal and why it should be one of the goals like others for current diplomacy. Honorable Moderator, when we face a problem or fall in danger, we always expect help from our neighbor. Then, Honorable Moderator, when will they come to us? Honorable Moderator, when? If we have a good relation with them, they will come and help us. Just like that, a country can't grow friendship with another country suddenly. They can make friendly relation with other countries by doing business. Honorable Moderator, now in case of import-export, if we have to pay the high margin of tax, as a businessman, I can't grow business even when I'm wanting to, because there is a burden. For that reason, we are not able to launch any products and also can't export them. At that place, our diplomacy is harmed. Thank you, Honorable Moderator. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everybody, for your wonderful voice for the World Warden Water Refugee. Am I waiting for the result? Now this time I want to say some issue. Why people refugee? Now UNHCR declared 100 million refugees in this world now. There's some causes: war, ethnic, tribal, religion, violence are the leading cause of war, refugee. But a refugee is a burden of a country, but all diplomacy should be use this manpower. Otherwise, they will do bad things for the country or nation. They have to allow them to participate work rights, some technical education we can provide them, or open up safe routes to back their own country. And also we have to motivate them to do good work where they stay now refugee. But world diplomacy, there should be main goal. This is the word, but they have to do. I think so. The refugee issue is always now and future. I think world diplomacy, world leader also think about this. Sometimes they get some donation for them. It's not the solve the problem, but to use the manpower of refugee properly is the solutions. In my hand now the result. When competition must be one winner, so is the formalities. But I say always, all debaters should be winner. Now the time for declare the winning team in this debate competition. Winner team, Chattogram Cantonment Public School and College. Best speaker, Oshojjo Chakrabarti Puna. Congratulations to you and both of the team. Thank you for your wonderful voice for the refugee.